Well, good morning, guys. It is a new day and a new video. I am getting ready to wash my truck because I'm going to show you guys what I carry in it, and it's filthy on the inside and the outside. So we've got Copper here outside with us. He loves the front yard, so we're going to stay in the front yard, wash the truck, and get it all ready to show you what's inside, because I'm sure that's why you clicked on this video, because you wonder what I carry on the inside. So let me show you before. It is a mess. I've got tool bags, I've got some camping stuff left over from my last camping trip, I've got tools scattered in the front and the back, and I've got this thing which is just full of randomness, but you can tell the truck is filthy. So no further ado, let's get into cleaning, and then I'll show you what's inside my truck. And just like that, the truck is shiny and clean, well, as clean as it can be. I drive a 2005 F-250, as you can probably see if you know much about the cars. It's an XLT, nothing fancy. It does have electric windows and cruise control and all that stuff that these newer cars have, but it's just a cloth interior. I bought the truck like 6 years ago, and this is what I used 7 years, it's going on 7 years ago. I bought it that long ago, and then it's a Power Stroke diesel, 6-speed manual. I love it, but it's not necessarily the prettiest work truck of all, but it is paid off and it is what I use. I don't do handyman work full-time like I used to. I do it pretty full-time, but I use it just to pay for some bills and to just have some play money, because we have real estate and that's what we use to make our living off of, and I spend most of my time working on my real estate. But with no further ado, the inside of this truck, it has the buckets in the front with a bench type seat in the middle that folds up and down. That I just use for business stuff, so I can write all my invoices and stuff on here, and I can keep my pens and checkbooks and stuff, whatever I need to, in there. On the front seat, I used to have a seat cover, I don't worry about it now. And then behind the front seat, I have this Husky bag. I have two of these identical. They were on clearance at Home Depot for 25 bucks. I couldn't beat it, so I bought this one and an identical one over there. On this side, I keep all of my little hand tools. So let me get set up. I'll show you some things I put in there and why I keep both of those bags separate and what they do. So the reason I have two bags, this one of course is for the hand tools I talked about, and the other one is for my cordless tools. So all of my, sorry about that lighting, man, that is harsh. Maybe I should film this later on, but you can still see me, so we'll go for it. So in the bag on this side, I've got random stuff like a roller pad. I've got a drywall saw, a bag of drill bit and punches. This is a bag for Craig jig stuff. Just random tools like this I would use for flooring, to bash flooring with, or something I don't want to mark up with a hammer. It has a soft edge to it. Some cabinet clamps. Those work really good for hanging cabinets. Bolt cutters and wire pliers and random assortment of stuff that I've used throughout the last couple jobs. Staple hammers, you get the idea. Just anything that I need that goes for any job, because I don't do one job like most people, whereas it's like you install windows and that's all you do, so you have those tools. I do every job and I have to be able to do everything, so that's what this bag does. We're going to take all these bags out and stick them on the back of the truck and then vacuum and clean everything as best we can, but that's mostly what's kept in this bag. So let me take you around to the other side and show you what I keep in the other bag. As you can see on this side, the passenger seat is sometimes used as tool overflow, and today is the end of most of my miscellaneous jobs. Man, that lighting is so much better, isn't it? Still not perfect, but so all my miscellaneous jobs and stuff have just cluttered out my truck. It's been crazy. So I've got tools everywhere. So in this bag, I've got some cordless 1/4-inch impact stuff, drivers. I don't really use those very often. I usually buy those for doing mechanical work, because I do some mechanical work as well. And so I had to use those this week because I forgot my drill in the garage And this is drill and impact. So I used those to hang some cabinet doors this week and some soft close hinges. That was this week's project basically. And then I got a tool bag and this random stuff scattered up here. Excuse me, up here, but in the back seat. Let me show you what that second Husky bag has in it. Okay, in the back seat on this side, yeah, you can see me a little better. That's great. Is this Husky bag. I've said that like 8 times. So this Husky bag. It's supposed to have all of my cordless tools in it and not on it, but sometimes they just end up on it. So this is my reciprocating sawzall, whatever you want to call it. And inside this bag, I keep some Milwaukee bags. These are really nice and tough. They're made out of kind of like a fire hose type material. And then inside I keep all my blades. You can see I've got a huge assortment of those. I was at a garage sale like a year ago, and they had a big old box of brand new Linux saw blades. And they were like 50 cents or $1 each. So I bought the whole box basically. So I keep that in there. I have a cordless router, which I keep for different jobs. I have a cordless sander that I keep in there. And usually there's about 5 of these larger batteries and 4 small batteries. And then I keep my cordless saw and all that inside of this as well when I remember to put it back together. Then I keep some miscellaneous things on this side of the truck, like this is a grinder and then all the attachments for it. And I have a cordless grinder as well that I've been using a lot more lately, but I keep this bag in here for some of the harder projects and to keep all of my grinder wheels and disc and all that separated. So I'll zip that up off camera so you don't have to see me struggle. Cordless speaker, that helps with boredom on the job site. And then behind the seat here, you'll see I have hanging off the back here a respirator. This is good for when I'm sanding stuff or painting or something that is I need to wear a mask to keep the fumes from going in my nose or lungs. And in the middle, right now it's a pile of trash, but I've got a go bag that I use for camping. I've got a cordless light, and then this has a battery on it, and you can plug it in too, which is nice. Sometimes when you work on electrical and stuff, you need a light because you're turning off the power, so there's no power. So you gotta have a light. I got a flashlight too in the cordless bag, a drill, impact, and any other cordless tool you think I could use. So when I do drywall, I have a cordless drywall screw gun, which is nice. And I always keep a jacket of sorts because even when it's warm outside, sometimes customers' homes can be quite chilly. So keep that there. A rain jacket for when I'm working outside on job sites. Sorry. Whoa. And another jacket, a blanket. That blanket's usually just there for in the winter time if I'm driving somewhere and I break down, which doesn't happen because I drive a Ford. So just kidding, it's broken down before. I have something to keep warm until I can get help. So on the floor underneath down here, I usually keep things like boxes of nailers or this is a corded sander. Sometimes these screw boxes will end up there. I have 3 of these. One is for like framing and building. The other one's for finish work. And the third one is for plumbing. And it's got all the attachments and things that I use and need. So sometimes I'll clip those together and slide them back there, which is nice. Right now it's a mess, of course. We're showing you what it looks like to be in the life of a builder. The door pockets, they should be cleaner, but I use them for all the miscellaneous things I need. And the ultimate way, hand sanitizer, bug spray, you know, random. I would say the ultimate way to build out a tool truck or tool trailer is to buy a trailer and tow it with your truck. And if I were, like I said, if I were doing it full time, or I had a business where I was going every day to a customer's house, 10-hour days and all that stuff, I would have a tool trailer. I would have it organized. I'd have all my levels up on the wall. I'd have my table saw and miter saw and stands and all that stuff in the trailer. But since I do handyman work kind of on the side now, I don't need all that. And if I need a bigger tool like a table saw or a miter saw, I just take them and put it in the back of my truck and then use them for the day. If it's a rainy day, I'll throw a tarp on them, but I usually don't have to because of where I live, it doesn't rain that often. So yeah, I have a cordless table saw. It's in the garage, compressor in the garage, all the hoses and electrical cords. I keep a few in the truck, but I don't usually bring the air compressor with me. So that is basically it for the inside. So I'm gonna empty all this in the back of the truck and then we'll clean it and put it back in. And then I'll show you any other tips and tricks that I have from working out of a truck. It'd probably be nice if I had a 4-door truck. This is an extended cab, but it does everything I need, and I don't need to spend big money on big trucks and big trailers to look cool when my goal in life is to enjoy the life instead of making me look better than the Joneses that live next door. So Anyways, let me show you what's in the back of the truck and we'll get to cleaning out the inside of the truck. On the back of the truck, I carry a old toolbox that was given to me. I repainted it a long time ago. It's rusty, it's terrible. It locks, but barely. And it's just full of all the big stuff that I can't carry or don't want to carry in the truck. Like 6-foot levels, 4-foot levels, mixing things, corded saws, framing nailer, all the things that are just a little too cumbersome or too big and I don't use very often. I stick in there, and then when I need them, I can just pull them out. So eventually I'd like to upgrade that to a nicer stainless steel one, but those can be really expensive. And like I said, I'm not doing it as much anymore. So with no further ado, let's get this cleared out, get it vacuumed, get it all organized and thrown back in. Make sure all my batteries are charged because I run on cordless tools and I don't want to have dead batteries when I go to customer's job because that slows things down. So that's what's in my truck. Let me show you what it looks like when it's finished. Let's go. So I like to clean out my truck every once in a blue moon just because of this reason. I work nonstop all around the clock on all projects, whether it's for customers or for myself. And my truck sometimes gets neglected, but you can see all the sawdust and drywall dust and wrappers and Cheetos and peanuts and everything just gets everywhere. And so I like to clean it completely out like I'm selling the truck basically. So there's nothing in it for the next person who buys it. Just I want it cleaned out. So I'm gonna take my vacuum cleaner that I use for work and vacuum this completely out, and I'm going to try to clean the thresholds and everything, the door jambs with a rag and everything. It'll be nice and clean. That way it looks perfect. And then once we get it all perfectly clean, we can go through everything that's in my truck, which is an insane amount of junk. There's a pile of stuff there that it's like, what do we even do with that? Those are in the door pockets and stuff. We're gonna go through it, and whatever we don't need, we'll put back inside, and whatever we do need, we'll stick back in the bags and stick back in the truck. And as little as possible would be preferable. So let's get cleaning, and this is what it looks like before, and let's just jump to the after right now. Ta-da! Check it out. Okay, there's a few smudges here and there. I'm not really detailing the truck, I'm just kind of getting it clean so there's no more peanuts and Cheetos, you know what I mean? So we've got everything vacuumed everywhere. We've got everything kind of Lysol wiped and wiped down, all the doors and door jambs cleaned up a bit, and then everything has been folded back and forth, and the seats are up right now because I'm going to load everything underneath the seats first, then put the seats down, of course. So let's turn into this part of the video where I'm going to be putting stuff back in, and as I put it in, I'm going to put it in there and tell you why it's important, and you'll probably know why it's important depending on the tool or what it is, but we'll see. If you think I should have something more in this truck, let me know, and if you think I don't have, if you have too much in the truck, let me know as well. So anyways, let's get started throwing some stuff back in the truck. Under the driver's side, I stick a pair of nice jumper cables for obvious jumping reasons. Between the passenger seat and the middle seat, I stick some sun visors so I can easily reach those. A pack of road flares, just in case I get stranded. You know what that is. A little roll of TP, just in case you need to, whatever you need to do with it. I like to keep my trailer hitch receivers down close to this area as well. We're going to relocate our safety blanket underneath the seat, just because it's a good use of space and it's definitely not winter. Along with, just in case my customer's house is cold, jacket. Put it down there. Booyah. And once we get the seats all filled underneath, we'll drop those down, and then we can start putting some big stuff in. I also like to make these nice and straight, neat, like so. On the passenger's headrest, I like to stick a work light that I need to make sure is working. This does great for when you're stranded and you need a quick light that you don't otherwise have handy. This is just always here. And then actually I usually keep this on the driver's headrest, but I'm gonna change it to here because that's where I want it. And then some hearing protection, just in case you need to get in a gunfight or your saw's just too loud for your earplugs. Then you can put that up there. That's easy to grab. And I'm just gonna flip it. That way I can grab it easier from the driver's side. And if I have a passenger, I just take them off. That way their head doesn't have to bang on that all the time. So I'll put the big bags back here. That way it makes a dent on the work back there. And we'll show you what we got left. The big bags are back in, just as well as everything else. It is empty back there. we went and put all the miscellaneous things in the garage, because in the garage we have totes. So we take this to a regular Home Depot tote, and there's like 3 of them, and I have one labeled plumbing, one electrical, and one finished stuff like paint and mudding tools and all that stuff. And if I have any miscellaneous stuff left over from a project, I can just throw them in each of those bins, and if I need to know what I have one day, I can just open the lid and be like, oh yeah, I already got that, so I don't need to buy that. That's what those are for, and it also keeps my truck uncluttered. So sun's going down a little bit, but we've got the big bags back in both sides. This is a miscellaneous bag, that's the cordless bag. In the middle we've got our winter jackets and our go bag, and we've got a work light, hole saw drills, we've got our sanding and respirating system right there. I like to keep my tool belt right below my seat here so it's easy to grab, because this is mostly anything I need is going to be in here. Measuring tape, speed square, hammer, nail punch, pliers, chisel, it's in there. That's a pretty important bag, so I want it right front and center. And then this door, all we've got in it is some hand sanitizer, because your hands get dirty sometimes, and you like to make sure they're clean, especially when you're doing some plumbing pipes and your hands are down in there. Even with gloves, you still get some black stuff on you. So anyways, we've got this door pocket emptied, except for we've got some random stuff like Kleenexes, and I got a pair of gloves. We've got the air chuck, because when your tire goes low, it's handy to have that handy. In this pocket down here, we have those boots that you stick on your boots, so that way you don't get your customer's house dirty. Now, some customers are very picky, and you want to make sure, and you're conscientious of this, when you walk in a house, if they've got pretty carpet, or even if they don't have pretty carpet, they may be ticked off if you don't cover your shoes or take your shoes off. And on the other hand, clients might laugh at you for bringing booties into their house because their house is such a mess, or because they don't care. So those are important. I have those in there. I hardly use them, but usually because I know my clients and stuff, and yeah, so it works out pretty well. But you have to have those handy. And on this side of the truck, we have got more things organized. We've got, like I said, the cordless tool bag. Most of my tools are back in there. I've got some batteries charging on the inside. And then on the floor here, we've got the 1/4-inch stuff. We've got a Dremel tool set. We've got the grinder bag. And in this door pocket, we've got staples and nails and miscellaneous stuff that I don't like rolling around the truck, because these will just fall out. And if they're not standing up in there like a cup holder, then they're not going to do any good. On this door, we've got all of our gloves stuffed in there. We've got a trash bag there for cleanup. We've got bug spray just for fun. Random hat, and everything else is just clean and ready to go. So I'm trying to think of anything else that you need to know. Besides, in this truck, I have up here on the sun visor, I had more patches, but I'm not a huge patch guy, so I've got a few. So Expedition Overland, if you're watching, I've got a few of your patches. Finding Adventure, I've got your patch right there. So you can check out both of those people probably on Facebook for sure for Finding Adventure. And then Expedition Overland is a YouTube channel that I used to follow quite regularly, so I had their patches. And then also I've got all my business cards and pen and notebook, and this is actually a New Testament, so if you need your Bible reading for the day, got it all. So with all that being said, we're going to close the truck up because it is done, cleaned on the outside, cleaned on the inside, and we are ready to go. I didn't touch anything in the toolbox because it doesn't really need to be cleaned right now, but everything on inside the truck is clean and ready to go. So that is it. So I think I'm gonna give you some bonus footage here at the end of the day. I've already done my work for the morning. That's why my truck was so dirty. And then I cleaned my truck. Now I'm gonna go back to another job. I got some painting to do. So buckle up, we're gonna head off and I'll show you what to do. In the meantime, I'm gonna get cleaned up so I look a little more presentable. Probably should have done that before the video, but it's so sunny that I'm sweaty, so no big deal. So let's get cleaned up and we'll go to that job, and then we'll say our goodbyes after the job. Catch you in a little bit. Okay, we're cleaned up and we're here at the new job. I've been here for a while actually. As you can tell, let me catch you up on what we're doing. So I installed this rock wall. This is the stage for a church. So rock wall there, and we're having a backlit cross installed in the middle there. And then that baptistry there used to be only an 8-foot wall, but it's a 12-foot wall now. And so I extended it up to the ceiling so you can tell that it's been drywalled and textured up there. That will need to be painted. There's a whole bunch of the projects to do, but today's project is to paint this wall here and that wall there. And the reason we're just doing those two is so we can tell if we like the paint colors or not. And here's the paint colors down here. We've got a color called Ginger Sugar, and this one's called Revere Pewter. And we're gonna use those. The Revere Pewter is going on this wall. It's kind of the accent wall to draw your eyes back. And then the sugar, whatever color is called, it's going on here, and we'll make a nice line here. That way you can stand back and just envision the color with the stone and that color with that color. Eventually this carpet will be traded out for a nice brown tan color, and then we'll have new trim, stained boards up this as a post, and it'll be a stained cross, stained trim around, so it's gonna look really nice. So my goal right now was to clean out the stage. I got all those things, which used to be in that corner, moved over there, and then I'm gonna stick some plastic down over here so I don't get paint on the ground, even though we're gonna be changing it. Try not to keep it clean as possible. And then we'll paint this, paint that, and I'll show you what it looks like once we get done. So let's start painting this wall right now, and this is what it looks like after. Ta-da! Okay, it's still wet, of course. We've painted the whole gallon of paint. We've done 2 coats on this area, and then we did 1 coat from here to there, and that's where the 1 gallon ended. So if you're ever wondering what one of those will cover, 2 coats of that space and 1 coat of that space is how much it'll cover. We haven't used it to trim up there or down the wall or anything yet. We're gonna do that later when we actually paint this place. But we're gonna get the color on there, that way we can see what it looks like. So all we got left to do today is change the color. So I've got the roller drying outside with the pan, and we're going to change it to this color and paint this section, and then we'll be done for the night, be able to go home. So no further ado, let's paint this section right now. And it's painted. Well, mostly. I got pretty much 2 coats on there, from here to here at least, and then this is 1 coat, but it's all we've got time for tonight. So we haven't done any trimming, like I said in the video clip just before this one. But this is the pewter color, and this is the ginger sugar color. So we'll see what they think of it once it dries. It looks better in person than on camera. Over here looks better in person, does on camera as well. But the burgundy does not help, that is for certain. So we got everything cleaned up, all the plastic cleaned up, put all the chairs back over here. We're gonna leave that there for now. Uncovered the piano and everything, so it's not covered when they need it. But check out this sunset. Beautiful. It's always nice when you can work until the sun sets. So we're gonna head home shortly. Those mountains and that view, gorgeous. So with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for sticking through to this point. You are a legend for sticking through. It's awesome. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for holding on, waiting for a video. It's been, I think, almost 2 weeks since last time I posted. Just been busy. So anyways, hope you enjoy. Have a good one. Don't forget to link in the description below, and I will catch you later. God bless.